Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Chef Mikey. Welcome back to Chef's Harvest Farm. Today I'm going to show you how I release green lacewings into my garden. So I use green lacewings because they're predator insects and they eat small-bodied insects like aphids, thrips, and many other small larvae stages of insects that are pests. And it's really like the best all-around, all-purpose beneficial insect that you can release in your garden. They eat many pests, and I've had a relatively pest-free season, but I did spend a fair amount of money on them. But it's worth it to not have so much pest damage and not have to like spray pesticides and stuff too, because that even takes a lot of time. Even if you're like spraying organic pesticides, that's a lot of labor. I mean, I've done it, and if I get a really bad infestation, my process is that I'll spray it with neem oil typically, which is just an organic pesticide. It's like olive oil, only from a neem tree. They squish the seeds and get the oil out, and then you mix it with water and it kills many insects. And then I consider that a knockdown spray. And then I'll come through like 5 days later and I'll release these green lacewing eggs that I get from Arbco Organics. Hopefully you can see that. So this is 10,000 eggs, and they're like in sawdust, so you can just sprinkle them everywhere, and the eggs are just mixed in with the sawdust, and then they'll just hatch out. But here's the thing: ants have a symbiotic relationship with aphids, and they literally will farm aphids. Like an American farmer farms cows, ants farm aphids on your plants, and they will protect their farm at all costs, and they will eat the green lacewing eggs. So if you have any ants around, they will sense the eggs, and they're gonna go find them, and they're just gonna eat them. So they're just gonna take your money and they're just gonna eat them up, and they're never gonna hatch, and they're not gonna do anything. But here's what I do against that. So I'm gonna show you how I release them, and I like these because you can spread them all over. I'll show you a different way that you can release them, where they come on a sticky card. So there's many different types. This is about 2 weeks later from the prior video where I had them on the sticky card, and I just like release these every couple weeks for like a month, a couple months, 4 times every other week. So like those little stripes are the eggs, and they like stick them onto these cards, and then you can just take these cards off on the perforation, right? And then you have this little card that goes like that, and you just kind of like can hang it on the leaf like this. See, so it just hangs there, and then the eggs will hatch out in a few days. Because I have ants, and if you live in the south or probably the north, I mean, there's ants everywhere. This stuff, it's called tanglefoot, tangle trap. So this, if the ants walk in it, they're gonna get stuck. So if you have like a tomato plant and you're gonna release your green lacewings on that tomato plant, you can take some tape, whatever. This is just it's silage tarp patch tape, so it's to patch like rips in the tarps that I have. But I'm just gonna wrap it around the stem of the plant that I'm gonna release the green lacewings on, and then I'm gonna paint this onto the tape, which is kind of like a rubber cement type of thing. And then the ants will try to crawl up the stem of that plant because they'll sense that the eggs are up there, and they're gonna go eat the eggs so that they don't eat their aphids, which are food, and they'll get stuck on this, so they won't be able to eat the eggs, theoretically. So it's a really good prevention. So I'll show you how we use it. All right, y'all, so I was gonna show you on one of my really big plants, but it's just gonna be easier to show you in here. So this is a potted mums plant, and I'm in my nursery space. You can see I've got all kinds of seedlings started here. So I want to release some green lacewings into my nursery space here as preventative measures, so that when I do transplant these plants, or when I sell these mums, I'm not selling them with insects and pests all over it. So I'm not giving other people pests. So what I'm gonna do, because there's ants everywhere, the ants, if I just sprinkle those green lacewings up here, the ants, they might not find all of them. I've found like they're still kind of effective, but I go overboard. I release way more green lacewings than is necessary in my garden. They're not that expensive. It's like $30, and you can release enough green lacewings in your own garden. So I'm just gonna put this tape around the base of this pot. That way I'm not like destroying the pot, and hopefully I can come back at a later time and just take the tape right off. Or I'll just keep this one for my wife or something. It's probably a better idea. I just wrapped the tape around here, and honestly, I mean, I guess if I'm just gonna keep this pot, I could have just painted right onto the pot. It's just like rubber cement. I'm just gonna take it. I'm just gonna paint kind of where I put this tape. And I don't believe that it really needs to be super thick or anything. I mean, I wouldn't go light on it, but you know. Okay, so you can see I just painted it all the way around, so if ants try to crawl up in this pot to get the green lacewing eggs that I'm about to put here, they'll just get stuck and die. And I just stuck my fingers right in the stuff, so be careful. Green lacewings like a moist environment to hatch. I'm just gonna kind of give this a nice little misting. And you also want to do this like in the evening. It's a little bit early in the day than I like to do it, but it's not like hot out or anything. It's relatively mild today. It's like 85, and pretty cool evenings. It's the end of August, so the daylight hours are dwindling, so it's kind of shaded. So the eggs are in like sawdust, and I'm just gonna sprinkle them. And the eggs are little like white things. I'm gonna do a fair amount in here, since we just went through all the trouble to protect this guy. All the green lacewings will kind of hatch out here and then go on, find their way onto the other plants. So I'm just gonna put him back. I'm gonna kind of isolate him so that he's not touching a lot of other things, so that ants can't like crawl on it, crawl up another pot, and then get over to this one. So I am just gonna keep him isolated a little bit, but still near all the other plants, and then that way the green lacewings will hatch out and onto the other plants. All right, y'all, so hopefully you learned something from that. And as an organic alternative to using even organic sprays is to release beneficial insects in your garden. And it's definitely not like you release them once and they just stay there forever and eat all the pests. That is not it at all. It's an investment, and it's an alternative to pesticides. So you need the pests will come back, is what I'm saying. But it's effective for quite a long time if done properly, and if done yearly. I do it twice a year, in the spring and then late summer and into the fall. Every 2 weeks for 8 weeks. It's not to say I don't have pests, but I haven't seen any aphids in a really long time, and I'm doing it again right now because I have thrips. But I haven't seen thrips all summer, but all of a sudden I've got a ton of thrips around the garden right now, so I'm doing my due diligence to just get rid of them so that I can be successful into the fall and not have to worry about pests all over my garden. It's like mid-August right now, so I'm getting fall crops planted, which are like way more valuable than summer crops to me. I make way more money in the spring and fall, so I'm really hoping to go into the fall successfully without fighting pests every day and just planting and harvesting crops. So, and consider releasing green lacewings in your garden. And Arbico Organics is a decent company. it's always a risk. I always wonder if they're actually alive when I get them. Yeah, I don't know. So it's not foolproof. All right, y'all, well, be sure to give me a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and ring the little bell so you get the notifications when I release new videos. And I really appreciate all the support and the positive feedback that I've been getting from people. If you have questions or comments for me, leave them in the comments on YouTube. I love hearing from everybody on Facebook and Instagram, but it really helps my channel grow if you just leave a comment and let me reply to it. So I appreciate it, and I'll see y'all in the next one. So here I'm putting some tanglefoot on my eggplants. You can see the eggplants get like pest damage. That's from flea beetle, which these guys will hopefully help clear up too. I put some on this one, and I sprinkled the green lacewing eggs all over these guys. There's a beetle, little fucker. That's the best way, is just squish the bugs, honestly, when you see them. Yeah, eggplants are looking good though. I sold a boatload of them this week. I feel like I had something else to say about the green lacewings. I don't know, y'all, but I'll see you.